Looks like I'm living rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Alright, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your mind's like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. I'm opening your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you mean. Why you chase the crooks and I take the lead? Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on the name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no insight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm holding your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm the VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right. Spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your minds all along. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. What's behind Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy? Don't you see? You're living in my world now. I'm the VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. You're trying to figure out your own identity. Can't you see? Yeah, keep it up. Keep trying, but you'll be stuck with Daddy for life. I'm Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, all in your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you're doing well tonight, man. Oh, man, it is popping off like crazy. Max Lab, thank you so much, Max. That was, I'm so glad you pointed that out to me. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. And most definitely, anytime.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Yes, you did. Oh my, oh my, oh my. It is wonderful. They Lost Souls, good to see ya. How you doing? I'm glad. I hope you had a good time last night. Bollocks, yes. Lots of bollocks. Ooh, yeah. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It's so good to see you. It has been a interesting day, let me tell you. So, what was it, yesterday? Yesterday, I got a call because a friend was in serious need. Whenever I tell you the seriousness of it, you'll get a good kick out of this. So apparently, she's part of a Boy Scout troop. Really good group of kids. Okay, so she calls me up. Let me tell you, I was never a Boy Scout. We moved too much. I could never be stable enough like that, and my parents were not about to spend that kind of money. Boy Scouts cost a little bit to operate. You know, it's not cheap. Get this call, and my wife pulls me aside and says, "Hey, can you do a favor?" And I was like, "What's that?" They need somebody to like talk about welding. It's like, talk about welding. What in the hell? And doesn't give me any information other than they need somebody to, talk about welding. I had one of this lady's daughter's friends or friends' daughters come by, and she wanted to learn how to weld, and I actually taught her how to weld, and she decided she did not like to. She didn't like the flame. She didn't realize there was that much involved in it. And so I was like, okay, what do you need? Oh, well, and apparently this Boy Scout troop, they have, they do like the little civic thing and tying of knots and stuff like that. And, they like to break it up a little bit and try to get people sort of like a career day thing or something. I don't know. And so they wanted someone to come by and talk about welding. It's like, well, I know how to weld. I'm not like great at it. I mean, I can hold a job as a welder. I mean, I know how to explain quite a bit. And she's like, no, you'll be fine. They're like teenagers. They're like 15, 14, 13, 12, whatever. I mean, some of them are even younger than that. And I was like, all right. So I did that as a favor tonight. So I went and spoke with this wonderful little Boy Scout troop, probably about 25 kids or something like that. And it was fun. It was fun. So I was scrambling to, get all of my show notes together and everything. And then Max sent me that message, and I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, did a speaking engagement today. That was quite enjoyable. So a bunch of young, nimble minds. And yes, I kept my, in the Boy Scouts, we were taught to carry a canteen of wine in case, what? I know welders who make six figures. Most of them live out of their trucks, but they're debt-free, absolutely. In the Boy Scouts, we were taught to carry a canteen of wine in case you ran into Girl Scouts. That's right. Hello, beautiful Jessica Kruger. How are you doing, Doug? Goddess, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh my gosh, you're great, man. No, it was fun. It really was fun. So I talked with them for a little bit. I brought now initially I was like, man, how many kids is this supposed to be? And they were just like, oh, there's about 25, 30, something like that. I was like, all right, I'm not bringing a welding rig. I bring a welding rig and I'm going to blind some kids. I'm going to like torch their eyes out and they'll go home. They'll be on their little whatever games, switches or whatever. And their eyes are going to start hurting like crazy. If you've never had your eyes burned from arc welding, it hurts. CRTs are really the worst. I will tell you. There is a cure for that. Hey, Max Lab. No, it was no. I wasn't going to hurt their eyes. So what I did is I took a couple of welding helmets. I've got one that's just a plain. It's just got a single slot. And then I have one that auto adjusts to the light. So whenever light hits it, it kicks on. And I brought both of those, passed them around. Brought a flashlight. I've got a really bright flashlight, and before they got too interested, I hit them all in the face with the flashlight, and I was like, "That's pretty bright, right?" I was like, "Well, there's a reason why we don't do welding out here. It's because it'll probably blind every single one of you, and that's the last thing I need is you guys to be blind and walking around like drunk sailors into running into each other." And then just gave him a nice little presentation. Yeah, flashes hurt. Lincoln, ESAB, or Miller. Never will I say, because that just gets you in all kinds of trouble. That'll just get you in trouble. 8,000 screaming kids showing up. It was a Weldapalooza. Yeah, that would have been bad. It would have been really bad. I was not about to do that. I've welded since high school. Best thing I made was I worked pipeline construction, and I also worked for a welding company out of Kentucky. So it is a lot of work. Your dad had a welding helmet for me so I could weld with him. Yeah, that's fine. Except whenever you've got 30 kids, the last thing you want to be doing is setting one of those kids on fire. Those Boy Scout polyester outfits, they burn really quick. Just saying. It was fun. No, it was a good time. But I went and spoke with them for a little bit, and then came back. You know, the friend was there. She's one of their, I guess, scout troop moms or something. I don't know, something like that. But she was there, and I talked with her for a bit, and she was just as happy as could be. I wasn't entertaining as the architect, but you know, I spare of the moment. It literally, I didn't plan on anything. So if my voice sounds a little shot, that's probably why. I'm trying to talk loud enough that the whole group could hear. You're light sensitive anyways. I wear sunglasses on a cloudy day. Yeah, I'm my eyes can't handle bright lights like that either. It's like staring at the sun. No, it's 1,000 times brighter than the sun. It'll burn your retina. And what's really bad is whenever you get those arc burns, what happens is you don't realize it whenever it happens, but your eyes will feel it. The best comparison I can give, if anybody's ever had LASIK or cataract surgery, that's about the same kind of feeling that you get. It's like this pressure on your eyeball. It's really painful. The best cure for it, for getting arc burns, get yourself some potato, cut that potato open, and you put that directly on the eye. And I will tell you that it hurts for a little bit, but man, the pain goes away. It goes away. Ever since the spot welding, welded a zipper incident, I'm no longer near the welder. Well, Stephen Bear, that's why. I mean, she might have not wanted her zipper zipped down. Just saying. Oh, I want to hear that story, Stephen. You get enough voltage going through, you can weld just about anything. Hey, Christina, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, Wes. Yeah. I haven't welded since high school. Best thing was a bar stool. It was not very good. You don't have to be great. I mean, it was wonderful. No, there was quite a bit of there's always going to be debates of what's the best welding machine. And I was like, the one that gets the job done. I had to, I would explain the difference between MIG, TIG, stick, all that kind of stuff, just giving them some basics. Someone was like, how much money can you make? I was like, oh, you make 6 figures if you're good. I mean, if you're a really good TIG welder, you make a hell of a lot more money than that. Hey, Denise, how you doing? Good to see you. That's wonderful. Hey, Denise. Oh my gosh. So as I said yesterday, I was going to go through this a little bit more. I didn't get a chance to. Good evening, Serrano. Yes, welcome. Let you guys get in here, get all built up, and we've got some crazy crap that popped off today. And I did, and what I was doing was I was actually redacting some of it out because it's crazy. But I'm going to start out with, first of all, getting through the rest of her craziness, which is her actual defenses, because I don't think I got into those. Really, really good stuff. Yikes, if you're like me and you forgot to click the like button real quick, yes, reach down, touch that like button. Thanks, Texas Jules. Max Lab, I just can't believe that LO is finally talking to law enforcement. Yeah, it's about to pop off between those 2 groups, Max. You have no idea how bad that's going to get. They are going to pop off, and it is going to get crazier. Now, see, there's a reason why we like it whenever Megan Fox leaves, because everything goes crazy. And if I leave, oh my gosh, it goes twice as doubly crazy. So be looking forward to that, LP. Yeah, I know. Questionable garage had a Harbor Freight give him some welders, and the guy had a Miller guy test them, and he was impressed. He would recommend them for a beginner, but he still bleeds blue. Yeah, that's. I mean, you end up being pretty stringent on what you're using, you know. But I've welded with all kinds of machines, everything from Lincoln to Miller to, you know, just a random machines that you can buy at Harbor Freight really cheap. When is Megan due back? I believe she's due back tomorrow. So you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe she's due back tomorrow or Thursday, something like that. Wednesday. Yeah, see, Dana knows. Dana says Wednesday. Megan should be back tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I understand. And you know, the craziness coming out, you know, she's going to be completely amazed whenever she gets back, because she was probably not expecting this to happen at all. Hey, maybe how you doing? Maybe not. Good to see you, Tug Raider. Welcome, Tug Raiders. Anybody that's joining in from Tug's stream, welcome. That man he's been carrying the load all by himself. we love you guys. Tug is good people, and all you Hales fans too. We love you, and you know, even if you're coming over from the whole anti-Hales group, you just kind of stick around. You'd be surprised the kind of crap that you're going to learn over here. The kind of stuff that we talk about, we dig in a little bit deep here. I hope it strikes a chord, and you see what is actually happening. It'll be amazing. Oh my gosh, Iron Rabbit is here. No, you were just hitting the Iron Rabbit button. Doggone it. You hit the Iron Rabbit button. I was like, Iron Rabbit is the first mod that I had on here. She is an absolute wonderful woman that just does. I mean, she's great. She's great. I've actually had her. I've interviewed her on the stream. Like some of my earlier streams, I'd had some older military people that, you know, had been in the military, seen some stuff. Explosive stream tonight. Yeah. Well, thank you, Aunt Abby. Good evening. Yes, from Oregon. Usually hit you on replay. Yeah, that does happen. And I appreciate every one of you that come over from watch the replays and sort of catch up on everything. You guys are what makes it so much fun to go back and see, wow, they enjoyed it. Diverse and sometimes perverse. That sums up the chat. Yeah, that's pretty right. Charters, please don't bring up what's going on in other streams. Let's stay on Shizzy's topics, please. Oh, thank you, Charters. And thank you, Max. I appreciate you. So what we got here is the defenses from Lynette's pleading that we haven't seen yet. This is just what she posted. So like I said before, I can't guarantee that this is everything that's in there. There might be more information. There might be less. It might be the same exact thing. I'm just showing what she posted that she was filing with the court. Now, this one was filed yesterday, according to her. As you'll see, you've got up here, this is the one with Therese Granger, Brett Granger versus Michelle Preston, which is this has to do with the trespass case, okay? In case you were wondering, has to do with the trespass case. Not saying that it's correct. I'm just saying that that's where it came from, okay? Defenses. Just so we can be right. The plaintiff's claim is not right because the underlying action did not terminate in their favor to give rise to standing for malicious prosecution claim. Well, if that's a defense, that's a horrible defense, Michelle, because you did lose. In the state of Florida, you'll find out that whenever you drop a case, that means you lose the case. The other side prevailed against you. Okay? Even if you dismiss a case, doesn't matter. They still won. You dropped the case. That means they were cleared of anything that you had to go against them with. Since it was voluntarily dismissed without prejudice, there was no litigation of the merits nor any court rulings or adjudication of any issues whatsoever. Actually, that's not true. there is quite a bit going on still, because it had to do with you dropping out right before you had a deposition. See, that's what really stirred a lot of this up, because that deposition was going to bring up all of the shenanigans that you've been doing, all of the things that you've been making up, wondering where you're getting the idea that people are defaming you whenever you're the one in public eye. You know, it's a thing where you're just like, sweetheart, that you're arguing the wrong thing here. The claims in the underlying action was voluntarily dismissed were and are meritorious. Well, if they were meritorious, why didn't you continue with the suit? Because if these things that you're claiming have merit, then there would have been no reason to drop the case whatsoever. But you didn't. You voluntarily dismissed. Why did you voluntarily dismiss? You didn't even confer with counsel. And you were also past the date. They're eligible to get sanctions off of you over this, because you cost them money. See, it doesn't matter what your attorney did. It doesn't matter what Bubbles did. It matters what you did. If your attorney screwed up, then you have to go after your attorney and hold them accountable. But you have to understand the Grangers are the defendants in a case, and you're the plaintiff. You brought this case against them. You're the one suing them. And then on the 20th hour, you decide to dismiss voluntarily. You're just like, oh, we're going to pull out. They spent money trying to get there. They spent money having to argue this. They spent money having to get people there, their attorney there. They had to spend money 9 ways to Sunday to handle these kinds of issues that you brought up, Michelle. If they're spending money and then you just, oh, I'm done, that's not how it works. Because all that means is then you would bring it back up again. And then you would drop it, and then you bring it back up again. And then you drop it, then you bring it back up again. There are rules that they put in place to avoid people doing this, costing other people money. Like, if you're going to bring a lawsuit against me, you better come with a pocketbook and make sure that you got your stuff straightened out. But they didn't do that. And maybe not gifted 10 memberships. And it is required that the lawyer who helped her must be identified. I know, I said that yesterday. And this is for you, maybe not.
Welcome to the shit show.
Oh, those 10 gifted memberships. That makes me feel so warm, so fuzzy. Cause everybody sucks, you see, they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balder, dash, poppycock, balls, and butterine. Thank you, maybe not. Oh, yes. That's so nice. So, the claims in the underlying action that was voluntarily dismissed were and are meritorious. No, they weren't. The claims in the underlying action that was voluntarily dismissed are being refiled as counterclaims in this action. What? Why? Huh? Okay. So you're See, this is the problem with having a ghostwriter do these kinds of things for you. In this action, as of right, demonstrating the absurdity of the plaintiff's claim. But it's not absurd. That's the thing. Your claims in the first place, the lawsuit that you brought, were absurd. You claim that these people came onto your property and were harassing you. But we'll get to that. A claim voluntarily dismissed under 1420 without prejudice, as a matter of law, does not give standing for a claim for malicious prosecution. It does if you run past the time, especially if you read the court filings where they're saying you don't have a case, you need to drop this. You don't have a case, you need to drop this. But the thing is you never did. You brought more shit in. You caused more problems. You had Stark causing more problems. You had Bubbles causing problems. See, you have to understand, if you look at this in this just one little microcosm, it looks like, wow, the Grangers are sort of being difficult. But if you look at it as an overall of Michelle's actions, you start seeing a pattern here. You start seeing a pattern of creating problems. This is the same pattern that Bubbles has, the same problem, the same pattern that the Flea has. This is the same problem all of these folks have on the anti-what-the-hell's ecosystem. The ones they self-named. They named themselves the anti-what-the-hell's ecosystem. It was all about bringing someone down, destroy them. And now it's failing on them miserably. They're failing so miserably. They're failing so bad that they're starting to turn on each other, starting to stampede, see who can make it out the door the quickest. Oh, you'll have the diehards that stick around because you never know whenever the Flea is going to say something that's just going to get her buried even further, because you just can't shut her cake or cake eating hole shut. Jack Miles, be nice to Kevin. Bingo Kevin. Yeah, definitely be nice to Bingo Kevin. I don't know who Bingo Kevin is, but be nice to him. We got to be nice here. The claims in the underlying action was voluntarily dismissed are being refiled as counterclaims in this action as of right, demonstrating the absurdity of the plaintiff's claim. But it's not absurd. It was pretty straightforward that you drop this case without a reason. Or it would cause 1420 to have the opposite effect of its purpose, whereas it's intended to enable the litigant to withdraw a case for any reason without prejudice as long as there had been no adjudication of the merits. Okay. Apparently you didn't read this. It would cause 1420 to have the opposite effect of its purpose, whereas it is intended to enable a litigant to withdraw a case for any reason without prejudice as long as there has been no... But you're missing a point here. You're able to withdraw, but you're given a grace period to do that withdrawal. If not, then you would be screwing up the legal system even worse, because it means that you would be creating problems for them and not withdrawing. The thing is they responded to this. They responded to your bullshit. They asked for a motion to dismiss, and you could have dropped out at any point in time. You didn't. Expose every plaintiff dismissing a case under that rule to claim for malicious prosecution. Every single person should file a suit for malicious prosecution if you're outside of that time period. Absolutely. There would be a counter incentive not to dismiss under 1420. No, you can dismiss under 1420, but you stop raising. Here's the thing. She's arguing the same damn thing that Lips wanted to argue. And I was like, well, you guys have time to drop out of this. You have time to drop out of this. It's going to cost you millions of dollars. We're charging $500 per person per hour, and we're having to read a lot of documents, and we're gonna sue like crazy. There was no intent for Jeremy to drop out of that case. He has every intent moving forward, just the same way that Tug, Megan. They have every intent to moving forward, seeing through its fruition, because someone like Lips needs to be stopped. And this right here is saying they're arguing the exact opposite side of the fence. It is painful to watch this group of people argue the same thing both ways and be wrong both times. Jack gets up to the old folks' home and whacks the steps. Yeah. But to instead protract the lawsuit to have it decided on its merits. Well, you can have it decided on its merits, and that's what they were. You had opportunity to leave, but you didn't. This action is part of a litigation for content scheme. There she goes again. I know that this is why it was written by not her. This is the kind of bullshit that an attorney that we know really well writes. This is not litigation for content. We make content out of litigation. In case these idiots haven't figured this out yet, which of course they probably haven't, there's a lot of people that watch YouTube. There's a lot of people that cover law on YouTube. There's a lot of people that read court case documents on YouTube. That's what this channel does. That's what we do. We read court case documents. Whether you like them, love them, hate them, doesn't matter. We read the court documents. There's filings that come in that I'm just like, oh, that was a horrible filing. But it doesn't matter. I'm not the attorney. I just think it might be horrible. Doesn't mean it is. Like this bullshit, I think it's absolutely horrible. Doesn't mean that it is. I'm just commenting. I have my opinion, whether you like it or not. Presto changeo gono. That's right, Richard. That's absolutely right. This acts as part of litigation for content scheme to generate storylines for YouTube from the proceedings. No, that would be a fact not in evidence. See, these are things that she's trying to place down these facts that they're not in evidence. What evidence does she have to prove that YouTubers are suing people for content? Oh, that's right. We know someone that did that. Yeah. And then they sort of deleted their channel. We know that Paint Chips does this. We know the kind of people that do this. Oh, good to see you, Harley Munchie. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. And maybe not says like, share, subscribe, and I smell a food fight. Well, I don't know. Someone's got a lot of chicken wings in their gut. Counterclaims. Here's the same rehashed bullshit that she filed in Fed case 2. Trespass case. This is the same bullshit that she filed in the trespass case. So the counterclaims aren't changing much. On Sunday, August 11th, while Miss Preston was at home on her property with her 4-year-old daughter. What's that? That doesn't mean anything. You were there. Well, Therese and Brett Granger arrived unannounced, accompanied by 300 individuals and the sheriff's deputy. Yes. Now, what they're leaving out here is that whenever they showed up with that sheriff's deputy, the sheriff's deputy said you can't go on the property to remove Mr. Lloyd Campbell's property without Mr. Lloyd Campbell being here. You can't do it. Not letting you on. You're not allowed to come on this property. He held them back. We've watched the video. We've seen, and this is why they have to record everything. Because even something as innocuous as helping someone out, whenever you're dealing with some whacked out person, somebody that's a little bit crazy for loving you, whenever they start doing this kind of crap, you want to have it on record exactly what happened. And she's saying other property supposedly belonging to a person, Lloyd Campbell. No, he owned the property. That was his. That was his. He owned it. That was his, not yours, his. It wasn't that they showed up there. They showed up there to help Lloyd. They were there to help a person. You have got a damn, you have got a certain amount of people in that town that would actually be able to help Lloyd out. Those people showed up to help Lloyd out. And they made sure that their cameras were on, because every single lie that she is told or tells is being brought out. Batshit crazy. She will be incapable of pleading this motion, as she doesn't understand. Big words are confusing. Of course she can't plead it. But this is where it gets really fun. In his RV, but it was at the time convalescing. What? Do you even understand what that means? In a nursing home, Lynette, explain what convalescing is. Go ahead. What? I dare you. I dare you. I give you like oh, that's right. You have to be a subscriber to type anything in chat. But I dare you to describe convalescing in a nursing home from a broken hip. Yeah. But guess what? He was there. He had to be there. The sheriff's deputy made sure that he was there before he let anyone on the property. A little bit crazy. She's batshit crazy on a good day. Well, thank you very much, Taz. You are absolutely right.
Welcome to the shit show.
Been here 9 months, 6 months. You're about to give birth. It is a beautiful place to be. I love my life. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balder, tax pocket, smallest, and buggery. Exactly. His concern is Lynette's grandson or son. I don't know. I mean, her relationships are so screwy. It could be a grandson, nephew, who the hell knows? I mean, that's a family tree that gives all the appearance of going straight up and might not have any branches. It's weird. It's so weird. So here's the thing. Lloyd has to show up. Part of his personal property would be that camper. He was worried that they were going into his camper, that they were taking his property, they were taking his money, they were taking his tools. He wanted to get all of his stuff and go. That's it. I'm done. I want to go. I'm done with this. Well, Miss Preston ferociously is objected to this unexpected intrusion. Doesn't matter. It's his property. He is allowed to get anybody he wants to help him remove his property off of your property. That's why this was failing. Well, she objected to this unexpected intrusion, but the sheriff's deputy allowed the Grangers and others onto her property where they began freely roaming around. Nope. We've seen the video. And this is why those videos are so important. It shows exactly what they did. I heard this story set in Alabama, right? Well, only whenever it's like a Wednesday. I mean, today's only Tuesday, so no, it couldn't have been in Alabama. See, days don't end in Y in Alabama. Miss Preston objected to this unexpected intrusion, but the sheriff's deputy allowed the Grangers and the others onto her property where they began to freely roam around. We know that is a lie. We watched the video, and this is why we have those videos that are being made. It isn't for content. It's to prove the lies that these people are telling. These lies right here that she's telling, the video says different. Well, Miss Preston and HG were terrified and intimidated by having 5 people and an armed sheriff's deputy, but you have had armed sheriff's deputies there multiple times on your property. You've called them multiple times. You are reaching out right now to Bocamp. Please tell him what the hell is going on. And you know what he's going to tell you? I hate to say this, Michelle. I hate to tell you this. It is not criminal what they're doing. Even if there's criminal things in there, it's a civil issue. It's a civil issue, Michelle. And he's going to tell you, get an attorney. That's what he's going to tell you. Do you think getting an attorney would be going get Bruce, which is buddy with them? Because you know what Bruce will tell her. You know exactly what Bruce would tell her. No. Don't say anything. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. They're laughing at us. See, that's his actions. He's already shown you the kind of person he is. Look at the shit he's gotten you in so far. He has got you so twisted, backwards, fucked up that you have no idea which way is up. See, you trusted the wrong people to help you. all this could have gone away really simply. But you and John just can't stop. You just have this propensity to just jump in there and cause problems. And Bruce isn't going to help you. Why? He's in lawsuit Fed case 2, you silly fool, you silly goose muffin. Good night, Miss Nelstar. Tried to lock Kevin. Oh, no, she is going to put her faith in the wrong people and is going to come back and bite her, because Bubbles does not give two shits about her. You want to know who is doing shit for YouTube content? That's Bubbles. Read my emails back to him. Go back whenever you first heard about me. Now, some of you know that I've been around for longer than that. Whenever you first heard about the letter that I wrote back to Bubbles about him wanting me to join their little crew, he was telling me, oh, you should do just like the 2 Cankle twins. You should come over here on our side and tell our story. Well, why would I do that? Because he realized that someone like Fleesa cannot contain herself. I mean, it's obvious that she's got some serious issues there with being able to behave. And he knew that shit was going to blow up. Yeah, it's when Shizzy broke Larry. Exactly. Go back and see that email that I responded to him, where I told him to go F himself 10 ways to Sunday. And I meant it. It's like I cover things how I want to cover them. Nobody tells me what to do. I don't have Jeremy telling me what to do. I don't have Tug telling me what to do. I don't have Megan telling me what to do. My wife barely can get me to do what she tells me to do. And I live with her. I don't have anybody telling me, hey, you need to do this. You need to cover this. You need to say this. You need to be on top of this. No, never have been. I've been doing my own damn thing. That's why I cover things the way that I do. But they don't seem to understand this, because this is the kind of actions that they're doing. See, they can't understand that I don't have to have anybody tell me what to do, because, well, probably because I'm older than all of them. I do things my way. Is it the right way? No, I usually screw things up left and right, but I do ask for advice whenever I'm like trying to learn something new. Because, Tug taught me quite a bit about YouTube stuff. Nothing to do with like this kind of crap. I heard Bo Camp retiring. You do what the wife tells you. Shut the fuck. Come on, I got to keep my balls a little bit, just a little bit, Malstor. No, I usually she has a good input in it, but I mean, she doesn't tell me really what to do most of the time. This must be the cop she called Beecham before. It's Bo Camp or B Camp or whatever. Miss Preston ferociously objects this unexpected. Miss Preston and HD were terrified, intimidated by having 5 people and an armed sheriff deputy. He is armed. He had arms. Why are you terrified of an armed sheriff's deputy whenever you have your own ex-husband living there on the property with firearms out in the open that's pulled firearms on people before? Why are you worried about an armed sheriff? Well, on Miss Preston's property, Therese Granger wandered around the property taking video footage of private locations. What do you mean by private locations? Because you just said that they were roaming around freely on your property. Are you saying your whole property is private locations? I mean, giving me an example of private location. Was she filming your bathroom? I think not. Was she filming the inside of your house? No, because you don't have a house. Was she filming the inside of the camper so she could show and make sure that they got everything that was Lloyd's? So she could come back and say, "Did we get everything, Lloyd? Oh, I forgot about my tools. They're in the shed, the barn dominium, where we saw Lynette pull those out and just toss them willy-nilly." Yeah. And you never would have seen that, but see, it looked really embarrassing on her. And see, Lynette doesn't understand, and maybe she does understand is why she dropped it, because they would have brought that video in as video evidence of everything that happened while they were there. There was no just wandering around. Nobody threatened. Wander around her property, taking video footage of private locations, even threatening to video HG until Miss Preston took action to shield the child from videoing. See, we watched the video. We watched you yell at your child. We watched you flip out. We watched you storm around, haul things around, slam things down. I mean, are you so deep in your shit, Michelle, that you just can't get your head out of it? I mean, because I swear, it's like this turtle head. Miss Preston felt helpless and violated and was terrified that her daughter would somehow be harmed by the events. How? By you yelling, screaming, throwing fits? What? You're afraid that she was going to be hit with a wrench or something? Prior to the unannounced invasion of her property on August 11th, there was no prior attempt or communication by the Grangers to anyone to arrange with Miss Preston to have Campbell's property picked up. They didn't need your permission. That's the thing. They didn't need your permission. All they needed was Lloyd's permission to show up, to get his property and leave. They got a sheriff out there to make sure that they were able to get that property and leave. That's it. No, by locking her in a camper. I see too many people were paying attention to what was going on with the child. I was paying attention to what was going on with them moving everything out. I don't even remember noticing that they filmed anything about the child at all. And if they did, they probably cut it out. There was no prior attempt at communication. As it turned out, the surprise invasion was in furtherance of a scheme. What? What scheme? To obtain video footage of Miss Preston's property for broadcast on YouTube. No, that would be incorrect. It was there to make sure that whenever you came lying about things, that those were shown. See, these people like to work in the dark. They're like thieves. They are absolutely like thieves. They have to work in the dark. They have to work in the shadows, because whenever you shine a light on them, they are like fucking cockroaches. They just scatter. They hate having this stuff brought out. They hate that people have video cameras. They hate it because they've been doing this kind of crap for so long and getting away with it because nobody's picked up that video camera. And I don't want to hear a single word about it, Volstorm, because I know there was a whole bunch of YouTubers at Dollywood and we didn't catch the redhead flipping her shit out. Yes. Don't want to hear it, Volstorm. I know he's going to say something. He can't help it. As it turns out, the surprise invasion was in furtherance of a scheme to obtain video footage of Preston's property and broadcasting YouTube. No, it was to prove that you're a liar. Over the next several days, videos provided by the Grangers was broadcast on numerous YouTube channels. Yeah, and so proving your lies. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Over the next several days, videos provided by the Grangers broadcast. The story on all channels broadcasting, all channels, the story on all channels broadcasting property invasion was that HG was in danger. Wait, no. All right. I broadcast that video. Did I not? Go back and look. Pull up the old video. You have to go through at least 1,000 to get there. Go and look. It spoke nothing about HG. All it said about that was, a pretty nasty place. That wasn't the main part of the broadcast. The main part of the broadcast was just like, look at how they're treating Lloyd. Look at him trying to get his property off of this property and the legalities about that. That's it. There was never a save HG that came out of my mouth. You're saying on all channels broadcasting the property? Oh, I'm part of all those channels that were broadcasting it. It never happened. Tug Raid! Well, Tug Raiders.
Welcome to the shit show.
Yes.
Every single day.
It is a beautiful place to be.
A new flavor of fuckery.
'Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, Tug Raid. Welcome, Tug Raiders. Yeah, that was not what it was about. It was about trying to get that off the property. The man's camper was destroyed and there was license. I mean, Lord. Exactly. The cause sprang them up among subscribers of those YouTube channels. Now when are these people going to learn? We don't control what other people do. We don't control what chat does. We might cut things off if we see that you're misbehaving in chat, but other than that, we're usually pretty welcoming. The purpose of the video was a company contrived story about the danger AG was part of a storyline of an emergency custody removal proceeding. What? Now that would have been news to me because I may not have my timelines right, but I'm pretty sure that emergency custody removal was brought about by their aunts much earlier on, like maybe a year earlier. Am I right? I mean, I didn't follow that at all. That was before I even started really paying attention. I went back and was watching her crazy shenanigans on how she was flipping out over a deposition. That was the limit of my coverage. Jerry, you are here right exactly when you needed to be. You're never late. You're always here on time. Whenever you get here, it happens. I'm right. See, Tammy's telling me I'm right. Hey, welcome, Tug Raiders. Welcome. Yes. No, see, Tammy's telling me I'm right because I'm pretty sure that whole Save HG custody stuff, all of that crap happened before I even started covering it. I know of it, but I don't know enough about it to say anything because I believe there was some ants involved or something. But I don't know. The stuff with the kids it just sort of is a big turnoff. I mean, if I see something personally bad happening, I might be the one saying something. But that's the thing. If I don't see it personally, I ain't saying shit because that gets you in all kinds of trouble. Same way I suggest anybody here. It's her Mo. Yeah. Is Yami in here? Yeah, she has to blame everyone for her bullshit. Yeah, part of it. Yeah, exactly. Good to see you, Yami. You always have a link, brother. If you ever want to come back, I do have a good letter tonight. It's gonna be a fun one. The purpose of the video: a company contrived story about the danger she was in part of the storyline to remove HG from her mother. Why are you saying her mother? Why aren't you saying your mother? Her mother, me. See, that's why you know that she didn't write those. Her mother, Miss Preston. This caused thousands of YouTube watchers to publicly call for Miss Preston's loss of her child placement with people whom HG has never known. See, this is wrong right here. This is made up. This is a storyline that the timeline is wrong. And I think Bubbles needs to get his act together and learn how the storyline actually happened. Like the time of the events happened, because if you don't know the time events, then you're going to be going, who's George? Oh, I'm sorry, I have too much hair for that. Sorry, man, I won't be any help for you for a while. Can't be on a stream right now. I got you, brother. You're good. You're good. The following broadcast of the Granger's video footage of the invasion of Miss Preston's property, CPF visited Miss Preston 3 times from anonymous calls. I don't know. Following the broadcast of the video, they visited Miss Preston. Do you think maybe it was maybe CPS was watching those, had some questions? You know, here's an easy way for that kind of stuff not to happen. Keep a nice, tidy place. Keep a nice, tidy place. Nobody says anything. But it didn't look like that, did it? It looked like a mess. I mean, there was empty food containers laying around, food still in it. I mean, it didn't look very sanitary, but I mean, if you ever been to some of the places in the world, I mean, I've seen like places in India that look cleaner than that. As a result of Granger's actions, thousands of strangers from around the world called for the removal. That is their prerogative, but I wouldn't suggest doing that. But from HG, parental custody based on nothing more than seeing a YouTube videos broadcast. Well, which one was it? Was it somebody else or was it these people? I mean, I'm really confused because your timeline is so convoluted. It sounds like Bubbles wrote this shit. Well, Miss Preston was terrified from what she was seeing and hearing on the YouTube, the Facebook, and other platforms which the Granger's videos was broadcast on. You're terrified. Why would you be terrified? I thought for certain, absolute positive that you didn't read and you don't watch the house. You pay no attention to what they're doing. You don't care. You're living your truth, right? But we know that's not true. We know that you watch all of it all the time. You can't help yourself. It's like this little addiction that you have. You're sort of like, ugh, what are they saying about me? What are they saying about me? Oh, we'll get into some of the things that you had to say. As it turned out, a law firm did file an ex parte fictive kin petition. Now that happened before all of this. That fictive kin happened before that. You guys can correct me because I've sort of been following it since about then, and I'm pretty sure I would have heard something about that. I don't think it happened. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did. Like I said, I didn't pay too much attention to what was going on with that. I had never met the child since birth. So you're saying that they met the child since birth. So they met the child at birth? Because that would have been since birth. I mean, if not, then you would have said they've never met the child. Ever. That's a big difference. Although this aunt had never met the child since birth and was also proceeding based on what she saw on the YouTubes. Well, that petition was dismissed out of hand because the aunt had no standing. I don't know. I didn't follow that case. That would have been a child custody thing. I'm not playing Yamaha on screen. I'm straight. I love it. I love it. The Grangers provided the video footage knowing it was part of the emergency custody removal storyline. Storyline? Was there a storyline? See, this sounds made up shit. Like whenever you hear this, you're like, what does this have to do with dismissal? I mean, seriously, what does this have to do with the dismissal? I mean, are you bringing this back up? Because if you're bringing this back up, doesn't that put it down as the third time that you've filed the same claim? Interesting. Because you filed it here, you filed it in the initial trespass case, And then you also filed it. Oh, that's right. You filed it in a federal case. Is that 1 and 2 or just 1? Same thing. So that would be 3 times. The Grangers knew they were entering Miss Preston's property on a pretext because, you know, I have to talk like the Bubbles because he's so special. Entering Miss Preston's property on the pretext for purpose of wandering around, video in the property condition and clutter. So you're saying that you got clutter. So they were filming the clutter, the dump of the place. Is that what you're saying? That was their whole point. It wasn't to move Lloyd out of there. You know, here's the thing. If you don't want them filming the clutter, well, maybe clean up after yourself. They don't see the clutter. Or was it just a bad day, Lynette? You know, you were too busy, you know, texting your little buddy there, the one that's throwing you under the bus since then. The Grangers provided the video footage. Well, the Grangers knew they were entering around on the pretext of wandering around, video in the property condition and clutter to broadcast such video footage on the YouTube to fulfill a same HD storyline for content. The Grangers intruded on Miss Preston's property and privacy by entering for pretextual reasons. What does pretextual mean? Do you understand what that word means there, Lynette? Well, I guess you might want to go ask Bubbles. He might be able to tell you. And privacy by entering, wandering around, and videoing. As a result of the invasion of her privacy, Miss Preston HG has suffered damages. What damages? What damages? I mean, you're claiming that you suffered damages. What damages would you have suffered from them filming your clutter? It's like a hoarder's house, you know? Are those people damaged because you filmed their hoarding? I mean, are you damaged because they filmed you like taking, you know, and living in a dump? Would that be bad? That they're showing people that while you're saying, no, the place is safe or good, and they film and they go, I don't know, could be. Let you decide. Count 2, invasion of privacy. Well, no, that would be incorrect because there was no invasion of privacy. The Grangers knew the purpose of this was to obtain video footage of her property. Well, doesn't matter. They're allowed to. They're allowed to film anything that goes on because they want to make sure that everything is captured in real time of the shenanigans and the kind of lies that you lie about. The lying liars that lie. Well, it was broadcast on YouTube, including their own channel. Well, of course not. Why not? Why not? I would. YouTube channels are using Miss Preston's life for content storylines such as the HC. The video footage depicted private areas. What private areas? So they depicted your bathroom? I'm sorry. A blue bucket is not considered a private area if you're doing that out in the open. Same way as your porta potty is in private area if they film you going in and out of it. It's not a private area. Delusional thinking is common in heavy drug users. This is very true. The video footage, it would not want it publicized. That a reasonable person would not want it publicized. Why? You wouldn't want it publicized that your place is destroyed in a mess? Why wouldn't you want that publicized? If it was pristine, would you want them filming it? It's in the state that it's in. They're just showing that it's there. They didn't even realize what was on all of that video. And they probably, if they found any child stuff on there, they probably edited the child out. Did you say the same thing whenever they were doing a search through the property and found all of John's pew-pews? I mean, you didn't have that problem then, did you? I mean, the sheriff showed up so a man could have his property removed. They brought workers to make sure that the property was removed. So you're telling me that they were invading your privacy, getting somebody's property off of yours before you could destroy it, steal it, burn it, whatever the hell you were planning on doing with it, as a result of the broadcast video footage depicting her property, revealing private information. We suffered damages. What damages? What damages could you have possibly suffered? Damages to your reputation? What? Showing the kind of person that you are, the attitude that you had towards everyone, the lying, the screaming, the throwing a hissy fit, all of that. Count 3, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Well, these actions of the Grangers were extreme and outrageous. No, see, I don't see that. Extreme and outrageous would be if they pushed you out of the way and started videotaping it. You know, that would be extreme. There was nothing extreme about what they were doing. It's like saying that a police body cam is extreme and outrageous. It's not. Just, it's recording. The actions of the Grangers were intentional. Well, that I would probably agree with. The Grangers knew or should have known that their actions would cause a reasonable person to suffer emotional distress. Well, that would be a lie. That would be a lie, because then you're saying that they did it with malicious intent, where all they were trying to do is protect themselves. Call the kettle black much? Ms. Preston suffered severe emotional distress as a result of the action of the Grangers, including the resulting CPS calls by people who saw the video footage of Ms. Preston's property on the YouTube channels were influenced to make false reports. Well, if they felt so compelled, they were going to do it anyway. Just saying. And they weren't condoned on doing that. They said, let the authorities take care of this multiple times. Don't interfere. Don't interfere. Isn't that what they told another YouTuber? They said, don't interfere. I'm pretty sure that was the ongoing thing that they told all the YouTubers, that there was ongoing litigation with Lynette inside Levy County, that they had a restraining order that they were working through in Ohio, that there was a temporary restraining order in the state of Florida, which meant no third-party contact, which meant Lynette could reach out to anybody she wanted to, except for Jeremy. But they weren't supposed to be reaching out to her and causing problems between her and Jeremy. If I'm not mistaken, there was somebody that got a little bit of trouble over that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Reaching out to her and then having Jeremy on his stream and telling him, yeah, I reached out to her. That's going to get you in trouble. That the Grangers' video footage of Miss Preston's property was being used to garner public support. Among viewers for the footage. Well, and she asked for the following under relief of Florida law: economic damages, exemplary damages, punitive damages, costs, attorney's fees, plus other relief. This honorable court deems just and proper. Michelle Preston, pro se, prepared with free assistance of a lawyer. That's not how it works, Lynette. That's not how it works. Because, see, what they don't understand is in the state of Florida, that attorney has to sign an affidavit that they gave you information, that they gave you help. And all of that has to be notarized. And if you were doing this with the help of an attorney, you have to state who the attorney was. Because they need to be called in whenever there's questions about these kinds of things. See, you're held to a different standard whenever you file something pro se. Okay. Believe it or not, you get a little bit of free pass for making mistakes or saying things that were not quite legal. You're a little bit, you're given a little bit of a free pass. But if there's an attorney writing this for you, you're held to a higher standard. So basically, she wants to plead the same things that an attorney would plead, but not be held to the same standard and accountability whenever it goes awry. So again, Michelle doesn't like taking responsibility. Esquire Felisa. Don't worry, she'll gum you. Oh, you said Felisa. I thought you were saying Felicia. Never mind. Crazy. Guess I got that one wrong again. Night now, Tammy. You have a good one. Escuela. Escuela. Isn't that right? Escuela. Well, I've got a little bit of treat for you guys. And then I got even more of a treat for you. It's so glorious. You're going to love it. I guarantee you are going to love it tonight, what I've got for you. A nice little letter. And a little bit of fun. That's the wrong damn button. What in the hell happened? Where did it go? I got it here somewhere. There it is.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
Oh, yeah. An open letter to Lynette and the little carnival you've been running. A steaming roast. Lynette and anyone else who thought this dumpster fire deserved a seat at the table. Well, you were ordered to do one thing. File a response to the motion for default. That's not an invitation to improvise. It's not a suggestion box. It's a command from the bench. Answer the motion. Instead, you shoved a flaming trash bag of excuses, reheated claims, and ghostwritten sob scripts into the clerk's hands and pretended, "I've done my job." Well, you didn't. You filed a confession wrapped in legal paper. You admit the bankruptcy was dismissed. You admit the stay ended. You admit you didn't respond. Yet somehow you think that whining that your lawyer had technical issues and that you relied on the stay is a get out of jail free card. Well, what planet are you living on? Deadlines don't give a damn how sad your lawyer's server is. The court doesn't accept my email hiccup as new legal doctrine. No, you gambled. You lost. And now you're crying about it like a toddler who didn't finish their mashed potatoes. You remember the deposition you were supposed to attend and didn't? Well, that wasn't a clerical hiccup. That was cowardice. You ran from testimony. You bolted like a rat off a sinking ship because you knew the second someone asked questions under oath, the holes in your story would turn into sinkholes. You pulled the voluntary dismissal like a kid who deletes a social post after getting ratioed. That was why you were being sued. It cost people money. That was stupid. I thought I was the only mentally unskilled one here. But your stupidity makes a turd look smart. And that's not strategy, sweetheart. That was the sound of a flimsy narrative collapsing under pressure. Yet you filed that shit yet again in a countersuit. Now, like some trashy D-list entertainer, you're going to toss that same garbage back on the stage and call it a new act. Invasion of privacy? You filmed and amplified your own melodrama, publication of private information? Shit. You monetized it and then cried when the audience reacted. Intentional infliction of emotional distress? Well, you handed the mob the match and then wailed when they lit the tinder. There's a special kind of hypocrisy reserved for someone who weaponizes their life for clicks and then plays victim when the clicks bite back. You lit the fire, Lynette. Don't act surprised when your ass gets burned. It's going to get burned, it's going to get chapped, and it's going to get roasted. Let's talk about the other players here, because Randy Shockett, which was quick on that default, eager with the clerk timestamp, doing the job that the rules asked of him. Hell, he sees the defendant fall asleep at the wheel for how many months? He does what he's supposed to do. He files for default. That's his job. He did it. He did it fast. He's not a villain in this. He's a functioning courthouse appointed attorney. You, on the other hand, you made a circus of all this shit. Scott Stark, well, he's the name that shows up on your earlier case. He schedules the deposition you skipped. He was supposed to be in another one too and skip that. When rescheduled, skip that one too. Hell, his name is on papers you abandoned. If your team had a backbone, someone would have shown up and put the facts on the table. Well, instead, someone, whether prior counsel, ghostwriter, YouTube consigliere, whispered dismiss. You did the twist. If your counsel is a permanently retired TikTok influencer punching the card from home she's about to lose, or a disbarred attorney that spent time in prison, or a keyboard genius who thinks her best legal research is Googling how to file in Florida, well, you still have an obligation to disclose who's actually touching those pleadings. That prepared with free assistance of lawyer line is not a humble brag. It's you not disclosing who wrote this trash can full of shit. Courts don't like playing a guessing game about whether an attorney actually did the work. They demand names. They want signatures. They want accountability, not mystery theater glory hole sideshow. There's this whole media circus, the channels, the Save HG crowd, the popcorn brigade who treat the docket like television series. I mean, you're all complicit. You concoct a narrative. They film the theatrics. You push the sympathy. And when the pushback comes, when strangers call CPS, when comments scream for someone's head, you clutch your pearls and cry harm. The filings show this wasn't some spontaneous moral panic. This was manufactured content. You did it. You packaged terror. You sold subscriptions, rated a couple 100,000. Don't pretend you all didn't know what you were peddling. You tossed in claims about lack of prejudice, good cause like they're glitter you can throw on a dung just to make it sparkle. With the record, it doesn't lie. No. Grangers, they moved to tax costs because they prevailed when you ran. You can shout without prejudice until your raspy throat goblin of a voice gives out. But the practical result was you left them holding the bag and you scampered away like a rat. Then if the court awards costs and the filings you left on the record point straight at that, when the I was just overwhelmed defense becomes a joke told to a pissed off judge. The worst part, the mix of cowardice and audacity. When you duck depositions, you dismiss whenever you're backed in a corner, you ghostwrite your way back into the docket, and then you have the nerve to posture as some wronged martyr. The prepared with the free assistance of lawyer reads like, I have help, but I want the pity prize for acting pro se. Well, shit, woman, that ain't honorable. That's not workable. That's not permitted. If a lawyer put their hands to this, they sign. If they didn't, you've been lied. Either way, it still looks sleazy. People who play sleazy games in court get their hands slapped by judges who don't appreciate the courts being used as a stage. All you folks hearing this, the ones who don't care about docket numbers and who only come for the drama, you have to understand the consequence. When people treat courts as content mills, when they fabricate urgency to drive views, when they weaponize family issues for ad revenue, they degrade everyone's access to justice. Judges don't exist to give you clicks. Just so you know, clerks don't exist to host your pity tour. Real people's lives are not props. This isn't a web series, it's litigation. And when the heads roll, and they will, all the liability lies with them that caused it. Anti-What-the-Hell's ecosystem wanted to stall. You want confusion. You wanted the record to be a fog of, well, maybe and probably. You wanted people in the comments section to argue and polarize and make your problems somebody else's trending hashtag. Well, you succeeded in the wrong way. You created chaos. You made legitimate grievances into spectacle. You turned a legal dispute into a reality show. And now you want to do the sympathy ending because the audience is booing. Well, too bad. The court doesn't give out Oscars for emotional manipulation. So this is me calling what it is. Lynette, your filing is a steaming, fetid confession. It says in plain English, I ducked accountability. It says, I have to have my ghostwriting in for credibility. It says, I exploit social media to manufacture outrage and then play the victim when the mob comes calling. And the longer you keep feeding this thing, the worse you make it for yourself. The judge sees deadlines. The judge sees depositions missed. The judge sees dismissals. The judge sees cost motions. Judge sees ghostwriting statements that failed to name the lawyer, and that judge sees a defendant who tried to turn a courtroom into a camera set. If you wanted an actual to defend yourself, you would have met the court's simple instruction head on. You would have disclosed who wrote the damn pleading. You would have shown up for the deposition, let the facts sit where they belong under oath and exposed. You would have either had your counsel enter an appearance with dignity of a professional, or you would have taken your pro se status seriously and stopped pretending you had it both ways. But you didn't. You did the opposite. You hid, you dodged, you spun, and now you get to live with the fact that every bit of your fake outrage you manufactured for the grift is louder than your logic will show up in the record. Where judges read it, clerks note it, and opposing counsels file motions on it. You've made enemies the hard way by being dishonest, by being sloppy, and being performative. It's not winning, that's losing with a microphone. And sincerely, Shizzywhiznut, the R-tard and Velcro shoes who eats his own crayons but still manages to call out a cheap grift when he sees it. I'm broke, caffeinated, and emotionally incapable of subtlety, but unlike your filings, at least I show up licking the bus window and somehow still managing to win a case without ever lifting a single finger.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
Thank you. A wheel spin. Maybe not once a wheel spin. You gotta. That's too early for a wheel spin. It is a weekday. You are really jonesing for a spinning of the wheels, aren't you? What I do need is I do need a drink though, because my throat has dried out. I have spent I don't know how long talking to a bunch of kids. Thank you very much, maybe not. That's for you right there. But you do get a star. Get a star. I spent a few hours talking to some kids this evening before I did a stream. It was quite interesting. Good Lord. Your sign-offs are getting longer and longer. That was a pretty long one. I had fun with that one though. It was a good one. You'll have to go back and watch that because it was pretty tight. Okay. I've got to tell you, this dropped tonight. Just so you guys know. Flippin' Adventures. A great letter as usual. Well, thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. I try to get those. I try to get those in there whenever I can, whenever they're appropriate. And that one was definitely appropriate. Thank you very much, Colleen. I appreciate you. It is, you are definitely well liked here. Thank you. And everyone, you know, this is going to be interesting because I don't know if anybody's talked about this yet, but this got dropped tonight. Right here, defendant Robert J. Casey's motion to dismiss plaintiff's complaint and incorporated memorandum of law. Well, what Kesey here, pro se, he's moving on this court here to pursue a federal rule civil procedure 1B6 to dismiss all claims asserted against him and plaintiff's amended complaint. The complaint's part Kesey states as follows. Thank you. It states as follows. Introduction. Plaintiff's complaint is a sprawling narrative that attempts to transform online disputes and commentary into actionable federal and state law claims. The allegations against Kesey are at best vague and conclusory. If plaintiffs fail to state a claim, this is the same bullshit that the rest of them filed. It was getting pretty. That's so pretty. Yeah, this is the same bullshit that everybody else has filed. And yes, this came in today. As you can see, the file stamp on it, September 16th, 2025. He's trying to say here that it was conclusory, unsupported by specific facts. You have to understand, just like the rest of them, you don't have to have specific facts whenever you have to have enough to get past this, which it's already been done. So if you haven't seen this one yet, which I'm sure that quite a few people haven't, because it dropped at like 5 minutes, 10 minutes before I started the stream, I haven't even had a chance to read through it and do any sort of redactions on it. So if you see me drop out of it because it's coming to a part where there would be some redactions that I haven't done yet. So another cut, copy, paste. And of course, Kesey, being the fucking brain trust that he supposedly is, has filed this pro se. Because, you know, we all know that Kesey is so smart. He's got like an IQ of like 100, 250, something like that. I mean, me, I'm just an retard. Like, I can't tell that somebody, you know, would actually, you know, do something like this. Gator, what is it? Swamp Butt Robbie, something like that. Well, you have to understand is, why are you putting down these arguments? And because here's the thing, a judge is going to have you argue these. A judge is going to sit there and have you argue these motions. And your arguments are done legally correct, but you're going to fail because it's the same thing that everybody else has been filing. See, whenever they see these kind of cut, copy, and paste kind of thing, you're not arguing on any of the merits that he's made of the case. You're just wanting him to dismiss it. Please dismiss it. But wait a second. This will be the second time that you've asked him to dismiss, except now you're doing it under Rule 12b-6. Didn't you already have one of these that you did? If I'm pretty sure that, I mean, I can double check. I'm pretty positive that there was another motion in here. Give me just a second. And it was basically the same damn thing. I'll have to look here, but let's look if you already pled basically the same damn thing that you're pleading yet again, because it's like on repeat of the same thing that Bubbles has been trying to say for freaking ever. Let's see, that would have been, what was it, 109 or something like that, 107 or 108, something like that. Let me look real quick. Let's see. Now that was bone break. And then it was, let's see, 109. I think maybe it was 109, something like that. Now they filed a response, 106. That was the flea. 105 maybe. Oh, that was 105, 104. No, that was not it. Oh, it says he was granted before the court. He was motion to quash service or motion to extend time. He was given time to extend. Okay. I knew that he filed something, but it was basically the same bullshit filing that he filed before. I'm just double checking because I may have to edit something out here real quick. I just want to make sure I don't give any address here. Yep, there is. And right there. Okay. Just double checking. So this is a pretty short document. And then we've got something else that dropped tonight too. So it's not just this. Not just this. Only Me is a self-indulgent agitator. Probably. I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to the all of that kind of stuff, but if you say so. Flippin' Adventures sent a super chat while you were reading the letter. Did it? Oh, thank you. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, Flippin' Adventures. Holy cow, Flippin' Adventures. Thank you. Thank you very much for letting me know that there was emotional distress that was experienced by the U.S. who wanted to help Lloyd break free and go home. By the way, how does one get a sticker on a helmet before it hits auction block? Thank you for all you do, Shizzy. I appreciate you. Well, that is a good thing because Flippin' Adventures, I've got you covered. I've got you covered in ways that you haven't been covered before. And well, whenever you see it, you're going to go, that's giving me a covered. This is just for you right here.
That shit was close, dude.
Hunter, what's going on right now?
Getting shot at by single shot Freddy.
Who's that?
I have a feeling he's a blind Afghan man somewhere between the ages of 60 and 75 years old. And he likes to scare the shit out of us with these single shots that he takes. We've been getting real close, so we're all hiding right now.
How come you think he's blind?
Well, because he hasn't hit anything yet.
Thank you very much, Flippin' Adventures. That was just for you. Thank you so much. Right there. And you got a foot sticker right there. Just for you. I appreciate you so much. That really helps out the channel, and more than you guys really know. It is glorious. Thank you so much. Thank you. And you know, hell, just hitting that thumbs up, what you guys can do, that's free. Hit that thumbs up. That thumbs up, it helps the channel awesomely too. It really does. Hello, Richard Thornton. Agreed. Flippin' Adventures. Only Me is self. See, I've never had, I think Only Me has been on here once, maybe twice. I don't know. I haven't really interacted with Only Me. So that's just how I am. I don't really interact that much, I guess. Plaintiff fails to state a claim under this. Yeah, they did. It was properly filed. Same argument that the flea tried to make, same one Bone Bake tried to make. Plaintiff fails to state a claim for tortious, blah, blah, blah. No, that was already proven that he did. Plaintiff fails to state a claim for civil conspiracy. Nope, that was already taken care of. That was already filed. Leave to amend should be denied as futile. Futile? Denied as futile. What? I don't think that's a thing. I think someone learned a new word. It was number 111. Thumbs up. Yes, love the thumbs up. Tonight is crazy. Oh, brother. I'm telling you, tonight has been absolutely insane. You know why? Because Megan is out of town. That's why it goes crazy. This is why it goes absolutely insane. As more stuff come popping up, because I've got the one that came up that Max showed me, was just like, you got to check this out. I pulled it up like 5 minutes before I was getting ready to go on. I was running late. Given the fundamentals deficiencies, the protected nature of the alleged conduct, any amendment would be futile. Nope. For the foregoing reasons, the complaint should be dismissed in its entirety against Kiwi. Respectfully submitted. Let's see. It is Keezy Pro Se. Guess what? Oh, you got some spicy spice? Well, I'll tell you what. If you got some spicy spice, I'll send you a link. You can join in if you got more than what I've got, because I got some good stuff right now, unless something new came in. Or you can save it for tomorrow. Either which way, you know how it goes. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. Spicy spice. There it is. So I dropped you a link if you want to jump in. If you got something new, you're welcome to come on here and share. and it's easy. It's really easy because the stuff that I've got is this. If this is the same thing that you've got, do you ever sleep? Doug sleeps plenty. He's always getting some rest. So this was a message that was sent Wednesday from, and I did redact the name, Michael to Phil. I have another contact if those don't work out. Neither of those worked out. So you may, love the numbers you may have. Thank you. What are you asking for? A third party inspector? If you don't mind giving me your permit number and addresses, I'll call the building department and see if I'm still willing to, if we're dealing with Levy County. I just messaged him. We left him a messages. John very strongly told Lisa Lee to pay you as soon as possible so we can work this out with Levy Otter Creek. Does not have a permit person. They lied to Levy County. John asked the new clerk today. Well, Levy County said no more. She held out too long, so we don't know what to do. But I had a construction company come out to give me an estimate, and she said there are a few serious problems with our building plans, like no mini split of air for the main living area, and they didn't leave the doorways open on the floor. She said there are a few serious problems on the main living area, and they didn't leave the doorways open on the floor. The steel goes right through, knowing I wanted concrete acid wash floors, and the plans show the lift as storage, not a bedroom or a living space. Would you be willing to look them over and help me figure out what I need to do to fix it? Of course, I would recommend a private provider. No one wants to deal with Otter Creek. Oh, isn't that amazing? No one wants to deal with Otter Creek at all. But you know what's more fun to deal with? Right here, this.
Spit on that thing.
That's very emotionally confusing right there.
What do you got? Something new?
Oh man, I'm in the process of finding out something very, very interesting. Give me 1 second. I got a Raider. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you about it.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I can pull this other back up. It's awesome. Look, so we've got. Let's get this right back up here. Love it whenever he gets the raids. All right. So this right here. No one wants to deal with Otter Creek. Let me talk to the building department tomorrow. It says, okay. Thank you. Today was my birthday and I've cried all day. Ugh. Have a good evening. Well, happy birthday there, Lynette. Well, isn't that special? Now, a group of people, beautiful, wonderful people, YouTubers, fans, they came together against the Tails people and have known his son that can care about lives, cares about all those lives.
This message, what a message there.
Yes, this is insane. We got wonderful Rosalind Duke joining us right here. Look at that.
Well, hello. How are you?
What's up?
Oh my gosh, what a surprise.
What a surprise.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
I have never seen so much craziness come through in the past 24 hours.
Oh, it's so good.
It's wonderful.
So I'm hearing tell again. I'm fleshing this out right now. I've had a very interesting communication, and again I'm getting all of this. But apparently, from what I'm being told, YouTube 2.0. The new land that Travis and them they picked up with Jeremy. Okay. Well, there's an allegation that Lisa tried to get somebody to buy that out from under them as harassment money. And the person that alleges it, I very much believe them.
Okay.
Yes. I don't think it's just correct. I mean, we're talking about somebody that could. Let's just get
It's quite glorious, actually. You know what's funny about that? Something I stumbled across today. Was it yesterday? I don't know. It's all such a blur. Is that it appears as though LP has sold John a small patch of land within, the purgatory. So if somebody bought it, would they have to host John, in the middle of their land.
No,
no.
they wouldn't be able to do that.
Maybe a little tent. It'd be like when they sell a city block and you have a holdout for something.
Yes, exactly. I just got a picture of like this house being built around John.
Oh my God.
No, it doesn't work that way. The way that I know this because I deal with real estate all the damn time.
Oh.
You have to do a partition action. If they didn't do a partition action, then it would be basically nulled out. You can't just say, oh, I'm just giving you this part of it. There's a whole legal process that you have to go through with that to make that legally binding.
I thought I just had fun imagining it.
Oh, that would be fun to imagine, but yeah, it's not possible to do. Not without legal documentations on that.
Rants.
Yeah, it requires surveyors and all kinds of crap because they have to mark it off for tax purposes. Because whenever you do a partition like that, it becomes a taxable parcel.
Oh.
So say, for example, you got 2 acres of property and you split it in half because you want one of your kids to have one half, the other kid to have the other half. You have to do a partition action for that. So it's all legally binding and they become 2 taxable parcels.
Dream ruiner.
Yeah, I know.
Indeed, man. God, we were imagining like a Disney World for rednecks.
Oh, that would be glorious. I'm just picturing that right now. You could have a whole shooting gallery out there.
It really would be a shooting gallery, probably if you left him out there.
He would be wearing a top hat. Bubbles would probably become the barker for him just out there.
Ooh.
Well, he would have to do it between puffs. Just saying.
Right on. Right on.
He's got to know his priorities, right?
So, what did you find, Tug? This?
Oh, good, dude. I'm talking about $50,000 worth of potential tortious interference or attempted. Yeah, I mean that's a big thing. Like something we've not heard about it, and I'm attempting to get more than word on it. I'm attempting to get
proof,
a little bit of communication, but I very much believe the person that told me this. I very much do. I'm also wondering, so you just went over the document for Keezy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so can you explain something to me? You remember Keezy a few weeks back, there was David the donor. He decided to buy out everything he had and give him thousands of dollars for legal representation. You remember that, right? It was like 6,000. So why is he pro se again?
Well, you have to pay for that help. That's the typical of these folks. There's somebody in the background that's getting paid to write these things for them, and they're not showing an appearance in there. And they're going to find out that they're going to get in a lot of trouble.
Did you read LPs the other day where she wrote about her unnamed lawyer? I was like, you're going to have to name those, Lynette.
Yes. Well, and it's the same way if you write something using, and I looked into this whenever there was somebody attempting to sue me. I looked into this and found out that if you file something that is written by AI, if you're filing a pleading, you have to notate that it's been written by AI.
Nice.
There's a reason why they do this. And it's because whenever you're pro se, you're giving quite a bit of leeway whenever you make mistakes, whenever you misquote the law, whenever you say things that like Lynette's letter, for example, her letter to the judge, that she acted inappropriately. Under normal circumstances, a judge with giving ex parte communication would go really harsh on you. Instead, he just made sure the clerk got it and just carried on, with his day. He didn't, more than likely, it was one of his law clerks that saw it and sent it to the clerk and said, this isn't supposed to be done here. They do that for pro se. Now, if it was a lawyer doing that, different story. And the same way with the things that were in the content of her letter. A judge is going to be very lenient. But whenever he sees that an attorney is handling this in the state of Florida, you have to state who that attorney is. If not, then everything that you file on that can be disregarded and dismissed with a big lambasting and possible sanctions for doing it.
Wes in Bama, Law 9000. I'm sorry, Lazy. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I'm sorry, Lisa.
How?
I mean, and you can just pull up the Florida Rules of Civil Procedure. It tells you all of these things in the first place. They frown on these kinds of things.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, some people had some meltdowns about poor little Shara today.
Oh,
why would they have
did you
meltdowns
see
about
that?
Shara?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? That was hilarious.
She just got them worked up. Oh my God.
What did she do? What did she do?
Oh, let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, she's been on the call out mode. She's been back at posting on Facebook and calling.
Oh, you know what? You can't show it. Well, you'll have to go look elsewhere, folks. I can't tell you where.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Well, certain people get mad when you share their stuff, apparently. So,
who's
get you in trouble?
Well, is Shara going to get mad for you showing it?
No, it's on somebody else's channel.
That's on them. Yeah. If they get all buttered.
No, it's talking about the false copyright striking weirdo. That's what she's talking about.
Oh.
Yeah. They flipped out, but it originally started with a post that Shara put up. She was pointing out some of their stupid, calling them out, which is always fun. And they got really upset. Yeah, she makes them mad.
Oh, she really does. Some good powers.
They were essentially like, Shara, it's your fault. You're the one who broke the ecosystem.
No, the ecosystem broke itself. What do they mean? She broke.
They're like, you're a traitor. They were calling her a traitor.
A traitor?
Basically, she betrayed them. Yeah.
Oh! I thought it was like, what is she trading? Oh,
no, betrayed. Betrayed.
Yeah, she's a trader. You're like a day trader.
That's what I was saying, man.
In addition to stocks, she also.
I need to get some of her stock tips because she's been hitting it pretty damn hard. She's pretty spot on.
She's been wrecking them, and they're so mad tonight, though. I mean, she didn't even put up like huge messages. She said stuff like, 2L admits she withheld cash from MP so she would not beg for cash. MP has no clue as to the 1 to 200K that 2L banked on the child's name. She's posted things like that. And oh my God, just the freak outs.
And I went over that last night. I was like, once I started noticing that, for example, you've got one guy that's donating over 50 grand, and then you've got the Lees saying that no, it's more than that. That just individuals gave to me. That's what she keeps saying. They gave to me. Like,
yeah, she said. She actually said that other people made up as much as that one donor donated. So,
and that doesn't include the money that came in for the fence, doesn't include the Harley Jolly Christmas, that doesn't include all the other money that's been coming in. She's and I guarantee it's probably closer to 200,000 that she's banked, and Lynette has no clue.
Right,
not a clue.
Well, if we just went by her doubling the standard off of that, there's $100 grand. They're admitting to that's $100,000, and she's telling Lynette Preston that there's $18,000 left. That's That is the number that she decided to go with. And that number, again, it comes from that one donation. What she is saying is so wild when you think about it. Because she's saying context didn't matter in any of those live streams. What had to happen was when a person donated, they had to put on a particular thing. They had to say, this donation is specifically for the barn. Otherwise, it's for them, you know.
That's exactly what they were telling everyone. From what I remember, they were boasting about, oh, we're doing this for example, Ray. How much money did they raise for Ray?
Yeah, and did people say it was for? I mean, that's a good question. Like, do they have to specifically when they do that? Because if you go back, we all remember when they were kicking up all these live streams. The reason people were donating, and you got to remember too, super chats alone. And again, I'm not saying this is all for that, but before YouTube's fee, that channel in that time pulled, well, so far up to yesterday or the day before, they pulled over $31,000.
$31,000.
That is a accurate number, by the way. Again, and that's not counting memberships or anything else.
Oh
wow!
Yeah, you're definitely pushing close to that $200,000 mark.
But you can go through daily if if we find a specific day. Like, I'm curious. I thought about going back through each of the days that he notes. His big donation days. And I thought about looking at how much was made that specific day.
That would be interesting to see. Because we're also not seeing what's coming in on Cash App.
No. Yeah. That's PayPal. Well, also in the PayPal. So her thing doesn't, and I'm trying to clarify this just to make sure, but the way I'm understanding it. So David the donor, he gives large numbers like $20,000. He's like, I donated this. Well, when she shows a number, she shows $19,102. Now that's a really weird number unless you paid fees out of it, right? So that would, well, she's saying that actually there were other fees that came out of the money. He didn't pay the fees, so it was around $18K. Now, the only way that makes sense is if she did an instant transfer from PayPal. That's the only way I can think of it. She wanted that money in her bank account so fast, where instead of waiting for 3 to 5 days where you get a transfer for free, she paid whatever the percentage is. I'd have to see what the percentage is now. I think it's somewhere around 5% though.
Well,
I think it varies on the amount of the money. If I remember correctly, like most instant transfers are 1.75, but the fees, if you've got a transaction where you've got international fees being translated to another denomination like USD, those fees are paid for by the person sending the money. So they have to pay that. So they'll have to pay extra, or it just cuts out of the amount that they're giving you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But when you transfer to your bank account, like if I want my money to go in like right now, bam, skip the 3 to 5 days and I want it in my bank account. Yeah, I can pay. So, I mean, you're right. I think they paid the transfer fee. I think that, again, 19,102 is the weirdest. Without a fee, that doesn't make sense. That'd be the weirdest thing.
I think like Cash App or Venmo will charge you like 3% to do it. But I think with PayPal it's 1.75.
Yeah, but you're forgetting something. And it just occurred to me. He's out of country. Whenever you're out of country from another country, there's an additional fee on there. And that's US.
They usually pay that. They pay it on their end.
They pay it.
So it's deducted from, like, so say he actually tried to donate $20,000. He had to pay a fee and it ended up being whatever.
Colleen's the math wizard here says approximately 7%.
7%.
Yeah, that's why the $890 something disappears. I mean, that makes sense, Otherwise, but that would have came out of his end. They said that he didn't pay the fees, and they said that they did not pay taxes on the money. It was his responsibility, which is not true, by the way. 100%. Donors don't pay the tax. You do after a certain amount.
How is somebody in the UK responsible for paying American taxes?
It's so bizarre.
Well, and they've been saying a lot of things that are improper too, saying that for each individual one is an individual gift and you don't have to pay taxes on that. That was what they were trying to say. I was like, that's not how it works.
Well, yeah, no. If he sent it as friends and family as a gift, they would not necessarily be required to pay taxes on it.
Unless they hit a certain amount on the year. If you have, because I mean, yeah, for YouTube, they definitely surpassed their number for the year. So you're right, on an individual one, they would be correct. Like individually, they would have slid under that number. But once it started, from his numbers alone, like together, they would have had to pay taxes on that money.
I would think so. I would think you would hit that threshold.
Well, they did pay taxes. They paid Lynette's taxes.
Well, okay. Now you're just mixing up all the drinks. You're making like a suicide at 7-Eleven with the Slurpee.
Well, that's what they're going to try to claim is, we paid taxes.
Mm-hmm.
No. They did bring up the taxes on that one. They did say we did bring up her, so they did bring that up. And I thought, you didn't pay her taxes. The donors did actually,
Yes, exactly. It's true.
Well, she keeps saying this, and it's funny because one minute she's saying we're raising money for Lynette, and it's all about Lynette, her legal fees, helping her out, helping the family out, and then that switched over to helping the child out, back to helping Lynette out, and then it would change. It would intermittently change between John and her and him, and the whole time they weren't raising money for any of them. They were using them to raise money, because now she's changed her story. It was like, no, people were donating to me for me to help out do all of this stuff. That's what her story has changed to. I mean, I don't know how the ecosystem feels, the little what the hell's ecosystem feels about this, but they just got scammed out of all their money. It's just amazing to me that they're allowing her to continue to act this way and walk into it blindly.
There are some people that are very angry about it. I've had quite a few people. 2L keeps saying, oh my God, I'm, Megan and Tug, they're going to end up with lawsuits from all this. I promise you. Okay, that'll be real fun. I really would love discovery on that, for damn sure. Because I'd love to know how much money they actually brought in. I would. I'd love to know that total.
Absolutely. And we got a message here from Knock It Off. It says, nice to see you again, Shizzy boy. Hello, Dara. Sorry, I have to get this message to Tug. Tug, I get a fail message when I try a super chat. All other sides is fine. It's only yours. Any thoughts?
I have no idea. I don't know. I'll talk to my MCN. I'm not sure. If, first of all, thank you for pointing that out. If you want to help out, again, there are other ways that you can. And if you put a message with that, I will definitely read it on there too. But I appreciate you noting that to me. I have no idea. Sometimes I think the platforms where they just mass flag us so much, they try to cause problems, and maybe they do. Maybe that's the issue.
Yeah, there's been some really crazy stuff happening over here lately too. And then, of course,
day before. Hey, just a second. You remember that Mexican thing that came up where they all insulted Mexicans, when that was trying out. So now they turned that around, and apparently Michelle's the racist because she talks about Mexicans.
What?
Yeah, it's in the transcript. I was reading it last night. They were like, so I find it offensive just the way she talks about Mexicans. And she's bringing them up again. And I'm like, wait a minute, that was you guys. I remember Marla posting about how they were all going to be rounded up into Alligator Alley,
Yes. That was Marla saying
wild. That's wild.
They always do this. I mean, with everything.
It's
so amazing.
An ultimate gaslight. Like I said, I'm so surprised that there's people listening to what they're outside of just going, oh my God, I can't believe that they said that over and over again.
Right. Wow. Good fun times, right? Fun times.
Oh, it's fun times indeed.
I love that talk. That has been one of my favorite forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got me started doing it too, because anytime you see something like that, I'll go, fun times. I'm like, I'm channeling Tug. Why am I doing that?
I try to explain to people all the time too. We watch cases, sure, but really we're just watching chaos and watching idiots fall all over themselves. Like these idiots, they curse and say they're going to sue us and this and that. And the reason they do it is because they are imploding over there. I mean, soon, without what's going to be really amazing to watch is in a month, without Michelle Preston, what are they going to pull? 300 people? 200 people? Once they've lost that, used to they controlled access to Michelle Preston. And without controlling access, what do they really have to offer anymore?
Oh, it's just a rehash. They do the same thing of somebody freaking out and going off after Jeremy. That seems to be their modus operandi. I mean, I'm wondering if maybe there's. I think maybe that the flea is a little jealous. Is that what you're thinking? Shizzy, I'm getting a wedding gift. Oh yes, she blamed the Mexicans, then defended them. Are you getting a wedding gift? I don't know. That would be a fruit basket, I'm thinking, but I'm not sure there's enough pears in the world to.
I was going to say that I got some grapes that had the seeds in them by mistake. I can totally save him the seeds.
Ooh, we got some muscadine and something else that my wife is going to turn into some jelly. So
nice.
That's going to be good.
I love this transcript from yesterday. This is amazing. Listen to this. This is so good. I'm going through marking while we're talking, and she said. She said she doesn't appreciate shit. You know that. You don't screw around with that and fuck around with the people that support you. But she doesn't care. And if you look at her history, this is what she does to people, right? And I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like you're quoting many of us. She will turn on you.
I'm just saying. Amazing. I'm just saying.
Well, I have noticed that with her, that she's saying the same thing that everybody's been saying, even Jeremy, over the past 2 weeks now. It's almost verbatim the same thing that Jeremy was saying. It's like so she knew about this all the time, and she's been. And I mean, even in this these messages, she's talking about Lynette and saying, hey, she's doing this stuff to destroy us. I mean, they raised money. We went back to Levy County. We were too late. Our permit had lapsed. And so he said we had to get an engineer to do the inspection. And they give us this. So it's really a permit after the fact. And I mean, I started going through this. I can send you an invoice to email. Thank you. Can you please let me know if Lisa contacts you and pays the fee? Then I'll know to call Bo at Levy County. No activity yet. From what I understood, she called Bo at permitting and he gave her until Friday, but I have no idea to confirm this. So this is just saying that she's had no control over her money whatsoever. That the flea is handling all of her money.
It's wild.
I mean, it just goes on. I'm just trying to find out if you've spoken with her.
Well, like Rosalind was pointing out, if you look at the dates, that's what's wild here. Because she says, okay, so the narrative is that the reason all of this has stopped is because of Preston. The time elapsed. They didn't have time to get the permits. But if you read this, it starts before the permits. So you have that time, and it starts in May? So it goes from May to September. They're asking her all these months to come up with the permits. And apparently she was telling them, okay, yeah, we will. So that's what blows my mind, because now we never said we would. Well, Lynette is communicating with outside individuals, and she seems to be, I get they lie a lot, but at the same time, she seems to be convinced that they were going to pay that. And why wouldn't she?
Well, somebody's lying here. Okay. Now think about this. Whenever he says, what's her number so I can be looking for it, and Lynette says, I don't have her number. But just the other night, because I pulled the transcripts also, yes, she said that she doesn't do any sort of messaging, that she only contacts people and calls them and talks to them. There's no emails, there's no messages. But apparently she is, because she's saying, I don't have her number. I only contact her on Messenger.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. You know, well, she definitely doesn't contact when she's trying to cause people problems, as we saw in the FOIA documentation. That stuff was amazing. Oh my God. I haven't even time to go through that. I got 600 pages of freaking emails that are just magical. And
oh my
I'm like,
God.
yeah. Oh yeah, 600 pages of crazy. And right in the middle is Lisa's freaking, you know, where she contacted them. And she was like, oh yeah, I contacted all kinds of people. You know, it's like, you're a moron.
Well, and I hear that Lynette is reaching out to contact BOCOM.
Yeah, that's what she posted. That's what she posted. She said, I have left a message for the undersheriff him and to discuss all this mess. I can only hope he gets back to me soon.
That's wild.
How long do you think it'll be before she reaches back out?
Somebody said he retired. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
So he can't reach out.
Like I said, yeah, if that's the case, then it'll be somebody else that reaches out.
I wonder if she's calling it his. That's just weird. Like I said, I have a hard time believing anything that any of these people are saying because they've been caught in their lies so much.
Well, there's that too, right? I mean, like that's the thing. Like I was talking to somebody. I actually had like over a 4-hour long phone call with somebody from Northport last night. Let's just say Thursday is going to be fun. But we kept going back in circles, and I was like, if only there was somebody we could trust to tell us the truth.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the hardest part about all of this. And I mean, because you catch them in their lies so many times, you're going, okay, what are you telling the truth now, or were you telling the truth then?
Yeah.
Because if you watch, you'll see that their story will change. It's just depending on what mood they're in. I guess it's a moon phase or something.
No.
Well, I don't appreciate them gaslighting. You know, I mean, that's what they do. They gaslight us all the time, and that kind of pisses me off.
Well, I'm not getting gaslit because I don't believe anything that they say.
Right on.
Well, we got the thing is, like with two sides, there's a little truth here and there. You know, it's somewhere in between. I very much believe, though, from what I see with my own eyes, like they stole this woman's money. They used her as a bankroll, and she's in the right in this issue. She's in the right. Maybe everything else she's crazy and in the wrong, but she's in the right in this one.
Jay Hip saying I just gave hundreds to a memorial and just got kicked in the balls. But hey, I mean,
But did you get your $2 from Jeremy?
I had a lady write me, and she was talking about how she had given $1,800 for the house, and she gave $900 for the lawyer, you know, which turned out to be a bankruptcy lawyer, and she wasn't happy. She was like, "Hey, you know, I've been scammed here. You know, you guys need to make this right." And you know what she got for it? She got blocked and cursed out and treated like garbage. So
unbelievable.
$2,700, and she got for questioning them. She ends up getting blocked and booted.
That is typical of the way that they're behaving. Janice says, Shizzy, did you see the executive order by DeSantis to investigate the contempt of the protective order violations? Ohio, the state's attorney didn't follow. That's a typical executive order. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's an older order, like
it's from 2024. Yeah.
Yeah. So what it is, and this happens with every district attorney. It's something that the governor has signed off on. It's a form that automatically goes out in a lot of these things. I know, I'm pretty sure I know what she's talking about. I've seen the same thing. I've also seen that same one on quite a few other attorneys in other cases. It's yeah, that stuff.
It's a conflict of interest. It's a conflict of interest form.
Yeah. It just basically giving them the go ahead. That's all it is to pursue. I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff because it's the same way if you look at the like Federigo's stuff, you'll see that there's a form that comes out every time that something is freshly filed, giving you a pleading date of whenever the trial will be held. It's just a standard form that goes along with it. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
It's very exciting looking.
Right.
It's just not.
Yeah, for somebody that's never seen one of those before, it can be intimidating.
Yeah.
The EO is from 2025. Yeah.
Well, fellas, I'm gonna dip out. I'm actually exhausted. And
well, thank you very much,
prep work to do for Thursday, so I gotta get my beauty sleep and all that.
Well, make sure, chat, that you go and check out Rosalind on Thursday because it's going to be good. If you didn't catch the last one, I suggest you get caught up on with what she's been doing because it's going to blow your mind.
It's going to be fun. I will say that. All right, see you guys.
See you.
See you, Roz.
The old attorney. So that order is, I forget the date on it. Give me a second. Let me look at the date on it. I remember that because it had something to do with somebody having it was like somebody's proximity to that. They were basically removing themselves from it. But yeah, that is something we did know about. When I first saw it come up, I was reading it fast on the screen while I was live, and I was like, I don't know if that's real. But yeah, I remember the document actually when I'm looking at it. I can't remember the particulars. I'm sure Megan probably remembered the particulars of it better than I will. It didn't have any it doesn't mean anything in it except there was somebody too close to doing that.
Yeah. I've like I said, I've seen these things before. Mess with my computer all you won't. Shizzy send some money for his thought.
So David did cover the fees, by the way. And he did. That is confirmed.
Yes.
I've confirmed that now myself. I've
individually confirmed it. So
nice.
I've confirmed a few other things too. I found out some really interesting stuff that they I'll probably put it together for Thursday, but I got some real questions for them now. Because like I said, it sounds like they were willing to take harassment to a whole new level, and they were trying to pull in somebody that they thought had a lot of money.
They've been doing this quite a bit, though. This isn't the first time that they've done that. And I mean,
can you imagine like trying to buy the land out from somebody's project? They're like, "Hey, check out my new project I've got," and they're like, "Yeah, I wonder if we can get this guy to buy the land right out from under them."
Well, I mean, do you think that that's what they're trying to do to Lynette, is buy the property out from her?
Yeah, I've wondered again. You know, they can address that. They've addressed it a certain way, but I did wonder when there's certain benefits if they were to pick up that property and have it for themselves. First of all, they would have controlled Lynette. So they would have had, her voice, like you do what you want or else. They would have had that giant funding thing. So it would have been the never ending funding, that would have just kept on going forever. Plus they'd have been right there across from Jeremy. They would have had that property. And it would have been paid for by people. It would have been free and clear. And afterwards, after they, eventually boot them out, they'd have had a nice little barn dough that they got to build themselves. So, maybe, maybe.
Yeah. And then they, the flea would have her every wish and desires to be close to Jeremy.
It's so bizarre, man.
Seems to be where she's wanting to be. She's been up in his shed for so damn long. I'm surprised that she hasn't taken up rent somewhere. It's insane. Well, I think we're gonna say goodnight tonight and let you run off and get yourself a little bit of sleep. And I know that you've got a long day.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Megan will be back, so that'll be good. All right, brother. Well, I'll see you, man.
Well, I'm jumping out of here too. So everybody have a good evening. And Tug, again, thank you for coming by, brother. I appreciate you. Peace, y'all. Have a good night.
See you.
Oh, you thought I was done, bless your heart, but I'm still living rent-free, it's a work of art. Call me daddy, call me nut, call me the goat. You're paddling upstream while I'm running this boat. You say, I don't care, yet you're glued to the screen. Caught up in my glow while you stay unseen. Your shade's like a breeze, it's barely a draft. Meanwhile, I'm the Picasso of roasting your ass. You say you're over me, oh how cute, but here I am, still the star of your loop. You're my biggest fans, don't even deny. So grab some popcorn when daddy goes live. Call me daddy, yeah, shout it loud. King of your thoughts, I'm making you proud. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, headline act. Your background noise, and that's just a fact. Let's face the score. You hate that you love me, but you keep wanting more. You're like a dog chasing cars, you don't know why. But here you are, barking while I touch the sky. Your comments are gold, such comedy gold. Who hurt you? Oh wait, it's me, I'm told. You're keeping tabs like an unpaid intern while I'm cashing checks. When will you learn? Your timeline's a shrine to every move I make. I'd say thanks, but you're a nasty skank. Oh, Shizzy's washed up. Yeah, sure, Jan, yet here I am, the centerpiece of your plan. You hate watch my stream like it's Oscar night, but guess what, kiddos? I'm still shining bright. Call me daddy. Send in your bread, I'm still rent-free in your effing head. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy on your brain. I'm your mental landlord, you can't complain. Let's keep it real. You hate that I'm winning, but you love how it feels. Oh, I'm sorry, did I break your streak? You tried to ignore me for like half a week, but daddy's too spicy, you can't look away. I'm the train wreck you need every single day. So while you're out there with your plastic clout, I'm here sipping coffee watching you freak out. You're irrelevant, wow, what a take. Now go rewatch my vids while I count how much I make. I count how much I make. Call me daddy, yeah, own it now. I'm reading your brain and you don't know how. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, let's set the bar. I'm the constellation, you're a burned out star. Embrace your role, cause I'm the main character. You're just an old ragged ass burned out troll. So that's your bedtime story, kids tucked in sweet and snug. Shizzy Daddy's forever, you lose and you're stuck in the mud. Now say goodnight to Papa Nut, your mental pain. Oh wait, you will see me tomorrow's. Jundin will see me tomorrow, same obsession, same effing thing.
Love him or hate him, you're gonna go see Camelot. Go give him some love, everybody. 420.